Hello and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. This is your weekend reading for the 18th and 19th of September 2021. And yeah, we're moving closer to that full moon in Pisces, which is happening around the 20th, give or take, 12 hours, depending on where you are in the world. So you might want to check that out, the actual timing. But yeah, the moon card in the tarot deck actually does represent Pisces, even though the moon is traditionally considered Cancer. But yeah, so a Pisces moon is a highly intuitive moon. It can also be a moon that clouds a lot of things, that immerses you. The image that I was given, and this may be more appropriate for the actual date of the 20th, but the image I was given this morning when I was tuning into it was the idea of catching a rocket, well, not that you catch a rocket, out into space, and you're floating out into space and you don't know exactly where you are or where you're going, but you're just in that space. And there's all these unknown. And so how you sit with that is actually very interesting. And it's not very connected to the earth. You're in a totally new space. And what you get from being there, you may not know. You may not find out till much later on. But there is a sense that you've been taken to a new space for a reason. And that new reason, for some of you, it may be really clear. If you're an earth sign and you're not connected to the earth, it's not a very, it may feel uncomfortable if you have a lot of earth in your chart. Scorpio is a good energy for kind of navigating and being very discerning through this energy. It can also bring up themes around forgiveness or getting lost in an emotion, or things being secrets and things being hidden. So it's kind of an interesting energy, but it's also can be very highly connected to a spiritual space. It reminds me a lot of kind of the tower energy, but not in exactly the same way, but just in that while you're in that energy, you don't quite know what's going on. It might not necessarily feel like this is a good thing that's happening, but when you come out of it and see it, you can understand the benefit of it. So it's kind of got that energy. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Anyway, let's look at the Four of Swords. Little bit of independence, a bit of a rest coming in, getting some clear perspective. Wheel of Fortune, something is changing deep down inside. There's a lot of options opening up here with the Seven of Cups, and we have the Four of Pentacles. Now, the other information I got around the Pisces new moon is that it is asking us to change something. And at the base, the Five of Wands, I also got that it may be something there may be a bit of resistance to it. There may be, a little bit of a conflict surrounding this, or perhaps this could be. So, I mean, I feel like it's like there's something we're being asked to change. There's something that we're holding on to very tightly here. And it's a question of why? Why are you holding on to something when the universe is kind of showing you that there's something else that they're wanting you to, another energy that is beckoning. So that's why, this Four of Swords energy is really about going in and seeing things perhaps from a different light, just going very deep within. It may be even a need for rest or recovery, like I said, but it could also represent a shift in mindset, just understanding the stories that were told around something and retelling those stories and seeing it from a different perspective. So, if you're wanting more independence, freedom, even financial independence coming in, there's a lot of messaging, internal messaging and deep intuitive messages happening that I feel like something is deep inside, like I said, is wanting to shift and change. But then, we have the confusion of the Seven of Cups, which can be like, oh, well, there's a lot of options. It can feel overwhelming. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hold on to something I know because I know it. And it feels safe in this place of the known, as opposed to stepping into the unknown, which is what this moon energy is asking us to do and make this big shift and change. So, and the words I was given is release, asking to release something. And yes, I kind of I'm feeling it personally myself. I'm getting the big the big shift, the feelings, but yeah, there is definitely resistance with that Five of Wands. So that's why it can be a tricky moon, because like I said, it does take you to that place where you're like, why am I here? And what am I getting out of being here? Some things aren't necessarily clear because you are in this unknown space, but it's kind of like you still get this very deep intuitive knowing and feeling that something's been asked of you. And so it's just about how you listen to that voice. And that's why we've got the Four of Swords there, which is that there may be another way to be interpreting or thinking inside your mind, because it goes through your intuition into your rational mind, and your mind makes sense of it and tells the stories and tells you, it becomes your thoughts, and you can tell yourself this and tell yourself that. But when you actually question that and look at it, is it really true? And, is there another interpretation? When we all watch the same movie, someone gets something different, you all get something different out of it. So that's why this Four of Swords is really speaking to me, because I feel like this is a really important process to understand that the messaging that you're getting inside your thoughts and rational mind may not necessarily be the full picture, to question what that is. The other thing with this energy with the full moon in Pisces is that you can, if you're highly intuitive, it's very, very, you might get some amazing intuitive insights, but it's also a sense that there's like a loss of boundaries with this energy, and it may be that you're picking up on other things from other people as well, because when we're all in spirit, we all just are one, really. And so it's kind of like you're like, whoa, wide open. And so that's why part of it is to question some of those thoughts that are coming in as well, if that's what you're getting, because it is a sense that they might not necessarily be yours. It might be something else or someone else's belief system that's been passed down that you're picking up on, or just a friend or loved one's energy around you that you're interpreting. And it really is just saying, look at the interpretation. There's more than one way to read this. And so ultimately, we are being asked to change with this, and that is the energy that we're sitting with. The Wheel of Fortune usually does shift. It usually, because it's associated with Jupiter, it does usually promise beneficial energy to this change. But in this energy, it's kind of like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know if I can trust that. So even though right in the center, Jupiter's going, I'm expanding your world. I want to bring in more, but you can't stay in the space that you're in at the moment. You need to expand with me to get all the things that I'm offering. And there's a part of you, this other part that's going, maybe, maybe not. So that's kind of the energy, and that's why you need to navigate your way through it, question everything, but also to be able to sit in that space and know that you might not necessarily get all the answers straight away, but there will be this very, very strong pull that you kind of know what you need to do. So that's it. That's the message for the weekend. It's going to be an interesting one. Enjoy this ride. And if you are feeling, it could potentially make you really intuitive and loving it, getting all these intuitive downloads, but it could make you feel quite funky as well. So if you are feeling that, then it probably is the moon, and to just wait for this energy to pass, like I said, and then there might be some clarity afterwards as well. Some more clarity. So that's the energy for the weekend, and we haven't even actually hit the moon on the 20th, but this is part of the leading up energy that we're feeling. So we'll see what comes in on the 20th, and talk to you then.